What up, though? Welcome back to Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today, we're going to be talking about Elon Musk and his penchant for doing the craziest, most ridiculous stuff with regards to AI and robots. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about incredibly nasty cereal combinations based on something that I saw at the store today. And also a little bit of a brief recap of some of the favorite shows that we are watching on TV right now. Introduce who's going to be on the show with me today. As always, my good friends, the great Atakuji GQ and Simon Says. What's going on, fellas?
Hi, everybody.
Is that crushed velvet that you're wearing there, Simon? Is that?
You said, what is that, velvet?
Exactly. Is it? Oh, now he muted. So first we could hear him. First we could hear him. Now, and we couldn't see him. Now we can see him, but we can't hear him. Get that messed up. Are you? Say something for me.
Yeah,
Simon Says.
Wow, can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Simon Says, don't speak. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great week. Glad to be back. We are rapidly approaching the end of October, which means Halloween, which means candy, which means we're going to see a bunch of really interesting stuff in the stores. And I certainly saw something like that today. So as a quick icebreaker, I want to show you guys what I saw in the stores today. The Kelsey brothers have become media darlings. Obviously, Travis is dating Taylor Swift. Jason just retired and is now on ESPN. But General Mills released the Kelsey Mix, which is a mix of Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms. Now, never mind how freaking nasty that just sounds, just in general. But would any of you gentlemen dare to buy this? And what would you think it would taste like if you did it? GQ, what do you think? Simon had to drop out. We'll get back to him.
I'm gonna go with I wouldn't buy it personally because I mean the Cinnamon Toast Crunch by itself is fine, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is what I would like to call a alpha cereal. Where its flavor overrides a lot of things. It even turns the milk into unusable second bowl milk because you'll kill yourself if you ever tried to pour a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then reuse the milk for a second helping. Yeah,
you don't do that? Oh, you don't do that? My son does that all the time. You don't do that?
No,
literally.
There is a limit. There is a limit to even how much sugar I will consume. And
wow, okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch turns the milk into an unusable cinnamon. I mean, again, there's what is that called? That you can get at the Mexican restaurant. That
horchata.
Rice. Yeah, horchata. It's a very cheap, not rice flavored version of horchata is what you get out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch second milk, but adding Cinnamon Toast Crunch on top of Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk is a horrible idea. Just from a health standpoint.
Okay.
But yeah, those three flavors don't mix for me. They just don't. I don't like marshmallow cereal to begin with, so Lucky Charms has never been on my list of cereals that I eat. And the Reese's Puffs is peanut butter flavored, so it's like I'm not trying to do cinnamon and peanut butter and marshmallow.
Right. Okay. Dido, what about you? Would you eat the Kelsey Mix?
I wouldn't buy it, but I would like to know what a spoonful of it tastes like because my brain, I have a pretty good recall when it comes to food memory, and I can individually taste each one of those cereals. Man, all together they just seem like it's a jumbled mesh. Like I've always been a person that food is like a symphony. You know, sometimes you have solo, sometimes you have duets, and whatever else they call it when you got more than one instrument playing. And food can be like that. That's why I'm not adamant of having to separate my food, because some people are like, I can only eat my potatoes, and then when I'm done with potatoes, I'll eat my meat. I'm like, I don't want all my freaking food to be a goddamn solo, because that's boring as shit. And grow the fuck up. Sorry, excuse me.
I mean, that's true, because you think of the kids in the lunch room, and it's got everything separate.
Yeah,
right?
You got separate. But for that one, I'd like to know and see if my recall would match, but there's no way I would buy.
Okay,
that spoonful would be enough for me.
No, I hear you. So obviously, mixing potato chips is one thing. That's easy to do, and people do that all the time, right?
All dressed.
You might mix the Ruffles queso with the Lay's salt and vinegar, and then put them together, and it's really good, right? But Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms with marshmallows, and then Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, like GQ said,
the marshmallows in the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is like, yeah.
Because like GQ said in our group chat, he was like, "There's totally different textures going on there. That just nothing about that just even makes sense." So,
nah.
I would love to know if somebody out there is brave enough to try it and report back. But
I think what they're trying to do, not to cut you off, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to go with a s'mores inspired combination. Because think about it, your Cinnamon Toast Crunch is your graham cracker, your Reese's is your chocolate, unfortunately it's also the peanut butter with it for that cereal, and your marshmallow obviously is your Lucky Charm. So it's trying to be a s'mores combination of flavor, but I don't think that's going to work with cereal, because obviously you got to put the milk in there as part of that combination. S'mores work because it's just a marshmallow with chocolate and a graham cracker. You're adding milk to it, and that's going to throw off the flavor, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It's like, okay, so can you think of what would be the most disgusting cereal combination that you could think of outside of this one, right? Because as I put it to the chat earlier, what's up to King Takeem over there on YouTube?
Hey,
what's up to Amarak on Twitch? But Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops reasonably could go together, right? Similar shapes, similar flavors, probably. All right. Could you do honeycombs and Cocoa Crisp? No, honeycombs and Cocoa Crisp, actually, yeah. Or honeycombs and Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just chocolate and honey, which is not bad. I think my nastiest mix ever would be that one that we did. Remember that religious cereal that I found? Whatever the heck that was. I don't even remember the name of it. It was bad.
I don't remember what it was either. Yeah.
That one and Kellogg's Mueslix would be the nastiest combination ever. You may as well just go outside to spoon up some dirt.
I just think it'd be the one that doesn't exist anymore that came out in the 80s, and is orange juice cereal. But they also apparently had one in the early 70s or 60s that was grape flavored cereal. Those aren't combinations of anything. They're just we are using it's just straight up like different fruit, because like Fruit Loops and all the other fruity cereals that we have, it's not really a strong fruity flavor. I can't really imagine a grape flavored cereal, because I don't think we've had any grape flavored at all, because all the Fruit Loops, every color tastes the same.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
It's a flavoring on top. It's a flavor dusting basically on it. That's why Apple Jacks could work, because it's just basically an apple dusting on top of basically that same circular cereal. Takeem is saying Chex and grape nuts.
Grape nuts on its own is nasty.
Grape nuts
right off rip.
Grape nuts is terrible. How about the old school brick shredded wheat in anything?
Okay, so frosted shredded wheat is fine. Regular shredded wheat just on its own, man. It's like you scraping your throat as that boy's going down if you don't got enough milk on that spoon, right?
That bale of hay.
Yes, the bale of hay literally is just like choking.
I just remember like, because obviously we grew up with the original, but I mean obviously the minis are what they advertise now. But I remember when they used to be like a big box, and it was like 2 or 3 of those things in the entire box.
That bitch was like a log. It was like a log, dude.
Like, no.
Now, do you remember the 2 different colors? They had a light brown one and a dark.
Yeah.
So it was like almost like supposed to be wheat and I think something else, right?
It was clearly parents' cereal. I don't think I ever knew until they came out with the frosted one. I don't think I ever knew any kids that ever ate that on purpose because they wanted to.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody ever asked for that one.
Not necessarily the cap on our brethren, but this dude Amarak says I actually like regular shreds and grape nuts, and he's offended. Like, okay, old man.
Be offended.
Okay, old man. Be offended.
Because when we grew up, that stuff was untouchable.
That
stuff was just not persona grata. It was like, nope, absolutely not. I don't even bring it near my spoon.
All right. So last cereal combination, then we can move on because like dog. Yeah, him liking grape nuts. That's wild. So does anybody remember Smurf berries?
Yeah.
Smurf berry cereal. Okay. So would you mix Smurf berry cereal and Reese's Puffs? That seems like it would be kind of nasty to me.
No,
Yeah.
because chocolate and peanut butter, they have like raspberry flavored chocolate and strawberry flavored stuff like that. So that supposedly might go okay together. I don't know about the peanut butter, but like people who eat peanut butter and jelly, like I missed out on it. Like there was a time, and he doesn't do it anymore, but he still has his channel where he reviews the cereals and whatnot. So shout out to Cereal Time. Grew up in
Cereal
this
Time. Yeah.
great state of Michigan.
Yeah.
He talked that Aldi's had a peanut butter jelly cereal. So you had peanut butter balls and like jelly balls.
Were they jelly filled?
No, they were just supposedly flavored.
No, you couldn't do jelly filled cereal. Cereal by I don't know by law, but cereal has to basically be dry, otherwise you won't be able to store it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was something that mad that I missed because I wanted to try it, and Aldi's apparently does stuff even less than the name brands keeping cereal on the show.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what General Mills was thinking when they decided to put this mix out together, but maybe they just figured that kids will eat anything, and they're probably already doing this anyway. No sane kid I know is trying to do that and try and find out the most disgusting thing they can come up with.
I mean,
but
the thing is, realistically, now looking at it now, like yes, as an adult, I can go out and buy as many different cereals as I want. As a kid, you kind of had your cereal that you requested, and that's what your parents would get. You weren't trying to request multiple cereals because it was like, well, pick one. It's usually was like pick one.
That's true.
You ain't about to have me buy all the cereal.
That's
Waste
true.
the cereal. So now it's like now you could do the mixtures and whatnot, like whatever. But I mean, I even remember back in the day we had the Nintendo cereal that had it was divided into two. Yeah, it was divided into two different things, but they were basically the same type of cereal. They weren't. It wasn't like a huge departure of flavor.
Yeah.
So it was more or less the shapes is what you were combining.
Wasn't what was it was it the Sunday Funnies or something like that? That
I remember that one. Yeah. I never asked for that one though. That was one of the ones that was just
I know we of the culture, we're 80s babies, all of us. Well, I know it's technically a 90s baby, but no, he's more of an 80s
I'm
baby,
not, dude.
Yeah.
Not even technically,
so,
bro. I was created early 90s, popped out the third month of the 80s, and I turned double digits when it turned 90. So I was
definitely 80s,
all the way through, alive and well. And I remember back as far as 1983. So
all right, no, it's that's fair,
that, bro. I know, goddamn millennial.
He's offended. Speaking of millennials, so obviously we got some cool shows that are out on TV right now. One of them just came out last week is the Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft, which is an animated series which is airing on Netflix right now. It is made by the creators of the hit series Castlevania, starring Haley Atwell in the voice of Lara Croft. It is a sequel to the recent Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider trilogy of games, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and takes place directly after those films or after those games. Excuse me. I've watched at least 4 episodes of it. Dido, I don't know how many you watched. Did you?
None. Zero, zilch. My problem is as soon as you say a sequel, I'm like, well, I fucking didn't play the goddamn game. Actually, I started it, but I didn't finish.
Leave me alone. So, I mean, prerequisites aside, I think the show is good, really good. But obviously, the grifters out there are complaining about Lara for whatever reason. But hell, they were complaining about Lara when the game came out anyway, saying, "Oh, well, she's not sexy enough. She doesn't have triangle boobs and all this other kind of stuff. Whatever."
We all know that's BS because it was a mistake in the first place that her boobs are. They just ran with it because the guy put in the wrong value.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if he did put the right value, nobody would even say anything. Like
that's true.
Okay,
exactly.
Not big enough.
But anyway, no, I really enjoy it. It does actually a really good job. The same guy that voiced because and it also kind of somewhat bridges the gap between two eras of Tomb Raider games because the character Zip is in this series, even though he wasn't in the latest trilogy of games. He's a carryover from the ones from before.
Like Legend.
Yeah, from Tomb Raider Legend, the Tomb Raider Legend series. Yeah. Which I thought was pretty cool that they brought Zip in as her man in the chair, technically.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and the guy that voiced Jonah in the games is Jonah in this series too, which is actually kind of a nice little tandem of connectivity. I think it's pretty cool. But other people in the chat are actually, talking about some of the shows that they watched as well. Preem is talking about that new Matlock show, which I still haven't checked out yet. I did finally start watching The Penguin though, guys. I thought I think The Penguin is really good. Colin Farrell is doing the damn thing, and Kristen Milioti is also doing a really good job as Sophia Falcone. I think she's doing really good.
You know what would be interesting, and then again, it doesn't line up with the original origin of the character, but it would be really interesting if Vic goes through some type of psychotic break and actually ends up being Victor Zsasz.
That would be pretty cool. Obviously, the name, like you said, the names don't really match up, but he could change his name, I guess, in a way.
Well, because here's why I say that. Like, okay, we saw. Well, hold on. How many episodes have you seen?
I have seen 3 episodes.
Okay, so good. So all right. So you're not gonna be spoiled by anything I say, and I'm obviously not gonna give away too much. As a character, we've seen that he's supposed to be a somewhat good kid, slightly on the side of I want better, but like do I want to honor my parents by being better as a as an upstanding citizen, or do I want to go out and get that bag basically? So he's in that weird space of like, okay, he could go either way morally, but then once we see what he, you've seen it, the episode where like he did his first quote unquote job, he went a little bit further than he needed to go, because even Penguin was like, you didn't necessarily do all that, but that was a nice touch.
Yeah,
he has it in him to get into that. You could become a killer because you already shown that you don't really mind hurting people. If it becomes necessary.
Exactly.
I think the Victor Zsasz thing is a possibility. Again, it's a huge leap to even make him become Victor Zsasz. But I mean, this is we're in early days of characters, because Penguin ain't the Penguin that we know yet. He's
even though
working his way towards it.
I don't remember in the Batman, did they ever refer to him as the Penguin? So hearing Johnny Vitti call him Penguin in that the second episode kind of took me off guard, because I thought I wasn't aware that he was ever referred to as the Penguin in the movie. Does anybody remember?
Well, it's probably about his waddle, but
I'm sure it's because of the waddle. And maybe the way he talks too a little bit.
Also his look, his appearance, his nose. He's got a hook nose,
really big nose, and kind of like squinty brow.
I think it's more or less a derogatory term when people call him the Penguin. It's not really a endearing, like, that's his reputation, so to speak. I think it's just like, it's very similar to what they did in Gotham. He didn't like being called the Penguin at first in Gotham either.
No, he did not.
So I think they're going with, everybody is, says a way for people to make fun of him and this and that, and we clearly see he does not go for that. So it's like, it'll be interesting to see where we go with that. You're going to be for a treat when you see this 4th episode, though.
I've heard stuff about this 4th episode. Like, it's one of the highest rated episodes in IMDb history. So that's how good it is, right?
It's a master class in showing how to truly show how someone can become psychotic based on environment, treatment, how they're handled. It's good, man. You got. I don't want to say not much more than that.
I might end up watching it tonight. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. So Agatha obviously is another show that people are talking about. It's going on pretty well. I still haven't watched it. I know the big reveal isn't necessarily a big reveal, not to me, because I wasn't fooled. I already knew who the team was. from the and I didn't get spoiled
yeah.
from any Funko Pops or anything like that. I'm a reader of the comics. I know who this is.
I mean, it was
it's
already
like,
speculated though who he was supposed to be.
You know, and again, comic books history, what it is. I kind of already knew who the kid was. But anyway, you guys talk about Agatha because you're clearly watching it. What's good? What's bad about it? Try and do it without spoilers because I eventually will.
Well, what's bad about it is the same Disney thing where they like to shoot it as a movie and cut it up. They need to end that. That's one of the reasons I would say, not trying to compare apples to apples or apples and oranges with the Penguin, is it's an episode. You get a full hour from a beginning, a middle, and end within that fucking episode talking about whatever character development that needs to be there. It's not developed throughout the whole entire series. I just wish they would stop shooting it as a movie and cutting it up, because you have one episode 45 minutes, one episode 35 minutes, another episode fucking credits started at 25 minutes. I'm like,
for some reason,
stop it.
I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought that wasn't the case. I thought this was, I could have swore that they said that this was a show that had a showrunner and was filmed more like a TV show versus a movie that they shot all at once and then just cut up.
Yeah, it feels like Dido said. It feels like because again, now their edit bringing the episodes, starting them off, feels cleaner, but it's still definitely something that they took that was a long story and then shot it and cut it up into pieces, basically. Because if it was done, like a show, the episodes would have equal lengths, or at least pretty close to being equal lengths. It wouldn't be, like you said, a 45-minute episode, a 35-minute episode, and what last week I think was like a 25-minute episode, basically. So that means that they're breaking it up wrong, and that's, I don't know, that leads to making you dislike the pacing, because it's like, okay, at least with Penguin, you're there for an hour. You're there for an hour. You're gonna get some resolution. It's not necessarily about, to me, it's not about getting a character arc. I mean, obviously, if you get an arc in every episode, that's too much. You don't necessarily need to do that. But they're fleshing out the stories that they're telling, and that's why Penguin seems to, for me, work better. It's like they could have, the episode that we had just this last one, if they would have tried to cram that into 30 minutes, it would have felt wrong. You wouldn't have had that feeling of going through what the character was going through if they tried to, like, okay, we got to get this done in 30 minutes. That hour was needed, and they used every bit of it. So.
Okay.
I think Disney, and again, they got the money. Let's regardless of any failures and quote unquote flops that they've had, they got the money. So they should really focus on making better quality and longer, especially if the story dictates it. Like, give me longer stuff. Animated, you can go ahead and do the shorter stuff because it's animated, and I understand how much goes into doing the animation and all that various stuff. But live action, go ahead and give me an hour per episode. May as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me that hour.
All right. Marcus is asking. Marcus is asking. So since I haven't started Agatha, would I just be better off waiting for the entire series to finish and watch it in one setting? That's what Dido would do if he had his preference. Why aren't you?
I mean, I personally wish they would just drop it all at once, because I want to, when it comes to Marvel shows, it's two things. Number one, you got people who like to talk about it way too much to the point where they forget not to say certain stuff. So, and that's one of them. And second off, I certain shows I don't mind. It's some shows like Tulsa King, for whatever reason, I want to wait till that's all done. This, because I know it's going to be, relatively short, and I don't really want to wait the 8 weeks, so I might as well just watch it, because I know they're not. I mean, the same thing with the Penguin. I don't want to wait to watch all of that, because that's like 8 hours or whatever. I want to see, because I know it's good. Now, Agatha, I just want to see the story. I want to know what's going on, because it feels like somewhat of a continuation of the WandaVerse stuff, and I want to see what they're building up to. So, I mean, if you're willing to wait, go ahead and wait. Yes, it's probably easier to wait and watch it like it's a movie. But
Cream brings up a point, though. He says, I don't agree. Again, each episode of Agatha ends at a logical pace and makes you want more, but the episode doesn't need more. Agatha might be one where that kind of works because each one, like you said, is taking on a challenge, basically, from the Witch's Road. But I think it's not necessarily just Agatha. I think all of their series, Marvel and Star Wars, would benefit from longer episodes if the show dictates that you need a longer episode. For example, Andor didn't necessarily need long episodes because during those episodes, especially when you got later into the show, they was doing some monotonous, mundane, boring stuff, but it was good storytelling. So those the pacing in Andor was exactly what it needed to be. But you look at something like an Ahsoka, where it's clear that that was basically supposed to be a movie instead of a show done the way it was done. I would have rather seen Ahsoka have a little bit more time to breathe, hour-long episodes, deal with various characters, Thrawn, Lady Elsbeth, Ahsoka and Sabine. Like, give me more of their storytelling and make it work properly. Acolyte, kind of the same thing. Acolyte, obviously, we all watched it as it happened. Preem's watched it as a binge, and he said it felt like a better pacing because he was able to just sit through the entire thing. I think Acolyte could have benefited from longer episodes, so they could have had more time to flesh out those various side characters and stuff like that. Especially Chimera. Like I really enjoyed his character.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you're not gonna have another season because of the performance of the show, but his character at being basically the sole Darksider in official Darksider in the show, Plagueis notwithstanding. We kind of needed more about him. Where did he come from? I understand they probably were leaning on the possibility of having a second season to flesh all that out, but it's like, bro, you got one shot. You should have spent that 180 on trying to, hey, can we lobby and get longer episodes? And if you got to stretch that 180 across longer episodes, but they don't give you as much maybe people to work with, tell more interesting stories with the people that you do get. So I don't know.
Yes. Speaking of Acolyte, to wrap that up, I do wonder if Leslie Headland was told initially, yeah, we're gonna give you 2 seasons in order to flesh this thing out, and she purposely slowed things down to stretch it out, which is just a bad practice altogether. If that's true, somebody really steered her wrong. If that's the way that she chose to do that, because man, tell you, that's the one thing about the Acolyte that I just absolutely hated. Its pacing was just drove me up the wall. The content of the show was just fine, in my opinion. It was that pacing that just did it. Just did it. It was just bad. It was just bad. So all right, so let's move along to talk about Elon Musk and the impending rise of the Terminators. I guess you should say. GQ, you brought this one up, so take it away.
Yeah, apparently Elon Musk is not satisfied with just having automated cars on the road. He wants automated robots in your house. I'm personally, as a Transformers fan, mad that he used the name Optimus for the project. So
right,
it's like he there's calling these the Tesla Optimus, and basically what it is a, I believe, $20,000 to $30,000 robot that is supposed to be able to come into your home and do mundane tasks, cleaning and all that sort of stuff, or take care of your kids for you. So basically being a live-in robotic maid. Now, we've all heard of iRobot. I'm sure many of us have seen iRobot. What's not the very thing in iRobot that the robots were taking over and doing the little mundane tasks, cooking and cleaning and washing the kids for you? It's like, it's a cautionary tale of people are messed up in the head. And I don't care what kind of security protocols you put on these things, somebody's going to figure out how to hack these things. It's already bad enough with Alexa. People saying Alexa listens in and you can get bank information and all that other sort of thing. Now you have a robot that can be told to walk around the house and look for stuff, basically, while you're not home.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The very thing that you just brought up, that was a major through point from that Terminator anime that just came out. I forget what it was, right? The dad in the show was so worried about artificial intelligence and robots and stuff like that. He wouldn't allow a machine that had any kind of AI in the house, like whether it was because they had like robot cats and stuff like that too. Because he was like, no, I don't want this in my house. Like, get it out. Like, because
he knew what he was doing.
Because he knew what was coming. Because he had a futuristic AI that was telling him in the future AI is going to be sentient and they're going to kill you, like because they believe humanity is inherently evil, whatever, right? Terrible idea for doing this Optimus thing, because like you said, you brought up in when we were doing our little bit of a discussion about this as a topic. What's going to happen when somebody hacks into this thing? It's got access to cameras. It can watch inside your house. It can walk around the house. Theoretically, it could disarm any security system that you got. It could walk through the house and kill your kids because it doesn't even know your strength. Or it could kill you.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people? We've seen, I don't know.
I mean, it's a possibility, but like, I mean, I hate to be devil's advocate, but there was a time when people said shit that ain't not about fucking cars when you had horses. You got a perfectly good old horse right here. Why the hell you need a gut? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, there's a possibility that you might have somebody evil out there that might do something, and then there's a possibility that nothing will ever happen. I do think that they're probably going to be doing this twofold because, yeah, they're going to stick these things down in lands where you don't have to still put the actual people down there to go fight your wars. Yeah. So, yeah, of course, it could be a possibility.
If they go that route, my issue with it, and actually I'm trying to think to help you line your shot up, scoot over to your left like half a foot because you're leaning out of your shot every now and again. Just at least for the way we're lined up here.
Other way.
There you go. There you go. That looks good.
Yeah, there you go. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
There you go.
You're good.
Sweet.
You're good.
No, the reason I say that is it's still a piece of technology that can be hacked. That in and of itself is the main issue I have with it. And obviously in iRobot, they were all controlled by a monster AI, a huge server. It's still the same basic thing. All it takes is for somebody to buy one of these things and then reverse engineer it, sell the core code or whatever it's called on to whoever. And especially if it's like this is your army, and you can literally at the press of a button turn the army against the army that's the people that are sending it out. So there's a lot of, again, Terminator-esque like problems with the whole idea of it. And granted, people always do not want to accept newer tech and all that other sort of thing. I don't mind newer tech until you get to the point of this is going to replace people at doing stuff. It's like that's a step too far, because if you've even seen the movie Megan, that was the whole idea of the Megan robot, is she was supposed to be a companion for your kids. And that was one of the main things that they argued against, was like, okay, at that point, what is the point of you as a parent if this thing is able to do all of the stuff you are supposed to do? Your child is going to be dependent on this machine and not necessarily have the ability to have the human interaction and all the proper whatever. So it's interesting that people are thinking that is kind of going that way of people. Kids are always on their devices looking down. Now granted, we had video games, but that was we still went outside and played. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's become a situation of you've always got your phone with you. You've always got your tablet with you. You always have devices with you. The kids are not interacting with each other at all. Now you want to say you want to put a machine in the house for them to interact with and basically to take care of them. It's like you're going too far, in my opinion.
Because again, like some things in science fiction, we've seen all the horror stories, whether it be Blade Runner, whether it be iRobot, whether it be Subservience, that new movie with Megan Fox that just came out, right? Where she essentially wants to supplant the husband's wife because he bought this robot because he was lonely or whatever, and she started taking over wifely duties and all this. Like, and I digress. Right? It's rife
That was
with
the
problems.
premise of that was the premise of that show, Humans,
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Gemma something. She was
Give
in.
me Ayrton.
Yeah, she was in.
Yeah.
It wasn't Gemma
Was that
Ayrton?
second? Yeah. Wasn't that the second? Oh no, Gemma Chan, right? Gemma
Yeah,
Chan,
about to say
right?
Gemma Chan,
Yeah.
yeah, because she was
Gemma
in
Chan.
Captain Marvel as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything about this, we've got numerous science fiction examples of why this is such a bad idea. Best case scenario, it turns out like Star Wars, where droids are, helpful to humanity, and are given some semblance of autonomy, but never go out of their way to harm humans. That's a best case scenario. Saying that, even in Star Wars, there are assassin droids.
Oh, of course, HK-47s. That's what all these are going to turn into.
Meat bag. Like, come on. Saying all that. IG-88. Come on. Like,
I mean, but honestly, though, to Dido's point, there's always the people that don't want it. There's a possibility it could work out. It could be interesting. It's just
no, it could. I'm just worried. Now, talk about the other thing that he unveiled, the robot,
the self-driving cars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
mobile
Robotaxi or something, right?
Yeah, Robotaxi. I didn't read too much about that one because I've seen that one. When I was in Vegas, rented my car, and then as I was driving away from the airport, they had the automated taxis that you could get into that had no driver. You just literally got in and I guess put your by the app put your destination in. I don't like the idea. I don't like being driven anyway, but I definitely don't want to be driven by a car that has no driver. That's just weird.
And no controls.
You don't want your Johnny robot
Johnny
like from Total Recall? Johnny Cab?
I'm a Johnny Cab.
What, from Recall?
Total Recall? I'm a Johnny Cab.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just think differently because you do a lot of driving. I do a bit of driving to and fro work, and if I had the opportunity to let the damn thing drive itself, I think I'd give it a shot because I just after a while, just like, oh my gosh, man, people irritate the living shit, and I try purposefully to stay away from everybody. I will go the speed limit so you can go past me, and people still find their way to fucking annoy the shit out of me. And I don't. If I could get to work without feeling annoyed.
The problem with it, though, and again, iRobot addressed this too. You have to get to the point where everybody's doing that, and I don't know that.
Yeah,
they can barely get the infrastructure for electric cars done now. So, like I said, in our lifetime, the fully outright automated, everybody has self-driving cars thing, I don't think we're going to see. I don't think I personally do not think we are going to ever see the outright elimination of regular driven cars in our lifetime. It'll probably happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be around for it, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I think the issue I have with it personally, especially, this is why, like I said, when I travel, I don't even like do Uber. Like, people are like, why don't you just Uber? I'm like, no. The way I travel, the way I vacation, I don't go to just one place. Like, when I go out. I might hit the mall. Then I'm going to hit like a restaurant. Then I'm going to hit maybe a different mall or a comic book store. If I had to Uber based on like the way I would have bought a car by the time I got back from vacation. I'm like, so exactly. I personally like, driving and being in control of where I go and not having to necessarily wait for someone to pick me up or wait for, like I said, one of these driverless cabs or whatever. Again, it's always everything always comes down to personal preference. I think in this sense, for a driverless car, I'm not really interested yet.
Fallen's got a good one. Fallen's got a good one. I'm still waiting on my damn hoverboard, right?
Hey, there you go.
Like, give me the hoverboard.
I'll try to use it over water, but yeah, hoverboard would be nice.
That board don't work on water.
You got to have power. I can't believe that was Jason Scott Lee in there, man.
I know, right?
That's so funny, man. A couple years
it was
later,
funny. Didn't Dragon? No, Dragon was 3 years later, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dragon was after. Dragon was definitely after Back to the Future. Dragon was like when we were in high school, or about to be in high school when Dragon came out.
Yeah. Still a really good movie.
Really, absolutely. Dragon was really good. Man
Right,
had
so
no
that
martial arts
training.
training beforehand. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that you want to talk about an announcement that had everybody up in arms? Like, wait, but how you gonna have somebody play Bruce Lee that can't fight? That was the first thing everybody said when he got cast. It was like,
the only thing he had was he had I guess a decent enough physique because of that that Jungle Book movie that he had done prior.
Yeah.
That's what got him the role. Anyway, I digress. I don't know. I have no wish to find myself under the throes of the robot overlords. If that's your bag, go ahead, man. Go ahead and do that.
again, I'm going to sit on the sidelines and be ready to laugh my ass off if the first batch of these roll out and they have some type of weird
defect,
glitch or weird easy like backdoor access to the mainframe or whatever controls them. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Be like, see,
nah,
told
man.
y'all.
Yeah, Preem like you would if it was a girl robot. I think not, my friend. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with that one, and
Oh,
I
no.
think not, my friend. No.
Like you tight.
Right. Hey, I ain't putting that in nowhere. Nope. Absolutely, positively not. Yeah, no way. No way. That's what's so funny though. That is what's so funny about all of those movies though that do come out. Like that's one of the first things they always address. Because like in Humans, I think in the Human series, like it was an add-on. Like you had to
Really?
like you for like adult activities, you had to purchase. It was basically DLC for the damn
Wow.
thing. And then
Wow.
the Subsistence movie, I haven't seen that yet, but I'm imagining
Yeah.
you cast Megan Fox, you're casting her for a sex appeal. So
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is hilarious, man.
It is hilarious. But
There's
you
one
know it's
thing.
coming. You
Oh, of
know
course,
100% it's coming.
we as men are very predictable in that aspect. At some point, we're going to think of how can we use this to get off.
Preem is
So,
exactly right. That right there. Foreign object detected. Initializing laser removal. Indeed,
right.
that's 100% what you be thinking about. Or it squeezes the fuck out of you and it's just done.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I can think of so many things that could go wrong with, and again, okay, so you know how everybody like sex workers are fighting for like their rights and stuff like that with Project 2025. They're trying to outlaw it, right? Imagine how they would feel once sexy robot droids come around and literally there's no fear of STDs or any kind of rejection. Like they'd be replaced so fast. I think they would feel some type of way about that. That's just
Form a
me.
union.
Yeah, I think they feel some kind of way about that.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that's crazy.
All right, what else is out there? We got about maybe like 15 minutes till the end of the show. We kind of have run through all of our topics. Is there anything that we missed out there that the chat would like to discuss? And while they're thinking of that, with a delay, Dido, did you just kind of just abandon your football
Oh no, I haven't abandoned either. I came in like second or third place last week, and I didn't even.
Did you?
That reminds me, I need to freaking.
Okay.
Is getting better at it.
So the question I got to ask is: was the Lions against Dallas your 100% lock, like highest pick?
I believe I put 14 on that.
You put 14 down.
Yeah, and the ones that I lost is like I second guess. I was like, I knew I should have picked them, and so I got 97 points last week, which was different, which put me in the 23rd place out of 42 this time. But yeah, I was very surprised on how many points I got last week.
Okay,
week 6. This is week 6.
This is gonna be week 6.
Week 6.
So
I got 98 points, so that put me a tie for third place. But I wonder, because there's supposed to be a tiebreaker, which I don't quite understand. Because when I did the tiebreaker, I actually picked correctly who was going to score the most points, unless I looked wrong, and that was Tampa Bay. They scored 51.
The Lions technically should have beaten that. All they needed was one more touchdown, and it would have been them. So first question out of the chat, we were asked by who asked?
Marcus A64.
Marcus A64 asked us what thoughts on the Dragon Ball Daima anime that just came out last week.
It's GT with just more steps.
Agree with that. Here's what I liked about it. I did like the nostalgic recap of the story thus far, leading us all the way from Goku being born all the way up to the end of Dragon Ball Z, where they defeated Buu. And then they pretty much just opened the show right after that. They're having a party at Capsule Corporation, the entire family. Obviously, there's no adult Trunks, there's no Mai, there's no Pilaf, there's no Shu because they don't exist or they're not around in this one. The characters that they introduced, I don't feel any kind of way about. I was surprised to see the return of Mr. Popo, though. That I was surprised about.
Yeah, with no change.
No
change.
Like,
well, they're going to change how he look.
No change whatsoever. I was very surprised to see they brought Mr. Popo back. So that's
now. Hold on. Now, when you say it's GT with more steps, are you saying it starts basically at the beginning of a story like GT, or is it picking with what happened at the end of GT, where you had Kid Goku versus Kid Vegeta?
No. This is what is going on. You have a little guy that is scared to fuck as these fighters, finds out about the Dragon Balls, wishes for them to be kids.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened in GT. I think it was Garlic Jr. or whoever.
It was Pilaf.
Not Garlic. Pilaf. Sorry, it was Pilaf. It was like, I could beat him if I was a kid. Wish for him to be a kid. Because, and that, it was just like, come on, dude. The only difference is the wish was, I wish for anybody who fought Buu to be a kid.
Which is interesting because it extended to everyone. Chi-Chi, Bulma.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that part was
because at least because at least with Goku, at least with GT, you had it was just Goku and everybody else around him was still regular, basically. But now they're just
I also found it
kids.
I also found it interesting that the wish when Shenron asked him, because Shenron was super meticulous about, okay, how you want this wish? It was like, and he was like, well, what about ones that were kids during the time that were being fought Buu? And he was like, okay, fine, turn them into babies or something like that. Which is, is something about
that's funny.
Basically, with Goten and Trunks, basically reduce them to being babies instead, which is wild. So, because again, I didn't see it, but was Satan also turned into a child? Because he fought
who?
Technically, he fought. Yeah, he fought who? Buu too, right?
Mr. Satan, Hercule.
Oh, you didn't see him at all. I don't recall seeing him at all.
I could have swore I saw him. Yeah, I could have swore I saw him. I thought because I saw him because he was sitting with Majin Buu. He was sitting at the table with Majin Buu.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see him.
I didn't see him after the wish. I don't remember. You're right.
They'll probably bring him up. That's funny though. I don't know. It's just funny that Shenron has become an attorney all of a sudden, because before he would just do it. He'd be like, all right, this is what you wanted. Boom, happens. I'm out.
No monkey's paw here. You better tell me exactly how you want this wish, and you gonna get it. Right? So so that's our thoughts on Daima. Obviously, we'll have to watch how the other episodes come along. Dandadan is still, since we're talking about anime, Dandadan is still 3 for 3. Like, I think that show is an easy runaway hit. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really good. Next question we got, Hannah Omega says, who's up for more in the Transformers 1 franchise? I still haven't seen Transformers 1, and it's this late in the game. I'm sure it's about to be on streaming by the time I go and see it. So
Joker is on the 29th.
Damn.
That's
less than a month, isn't it?
God damn.
No, this month. It's less than a month. It didn't come out in October.
Yeah, it did. Dude. Yeah, it did.
Only thing that was faster than that and shouldn't have been that fast was Fast 10. And I still don't understand that one. Because Fast 10 was actually fun. I don't know what the hell, why that got such a just ridiculous release.
Because people are just tired of the freaking unlike us who go to watch action movies for the action. Those people go for the do you have any grape poupon? Like, get the fuck out. It's a goddamn action movie. I don't give a shit what they do in an action movie. Go to space. Who cares?
That's the other thing we got to talk about. Speaking of movies,
Yeah.
so James Gunn shared a picture yesterday, revealing that Crypto will be in the upcoming Superman film. This will be the first live-action movie appearance of the Super Dog. Some people feeling some kind of way, I guess, a little bit about the appearance of the dog. They're worried about him being too shaggy. He should be more of like a white Labrador. I don't really care about
So
any
the
of
dog
that.
is too woke for them.
You went there. I didn't. Just saying.
My thing is again, yes, back in the day, I used to complain about the appearance of various things for the translations and all that. It's a damn dog, man. It's like it's a dog that's an alien at that. It's not even a regular dog of Earth species. It's an alien dog. So again, and I guarantee you he ain't gonna be in the movie for that long. It's not. This is not Superman. The Adventures of Superman and Crypto. This ain't Superboy.
Exactly.
This is Superman. Crypto is a cameo. At most, that's it, man. Some people were saying, "Oh, they might John Wick him now."
So
somebody actually kills.
I hope they don't do that.
Of course,
I'd
they
rather,
won't.
Yeah, because the picture that they showed was Clark sitting on what appeared to be like either an asteroid or the moon.
He's sitting on the moon. Just from a comic cover.
Sitting on the moon with Crypto. So for a lot of people that don't know, Crypto's backyard is outer space, essentially. When he wants to go play, he goes out in outer space and plays in the asteroid belt.
Yep.
So he doesn't really necessarily stay on Earth all the time. So, when Clark might want to get away, he goes to go see him. He flies out to outer space and sits with him. So I think the scene, if the scene is in a movie, it's Clark in a moment of introspection, goes out, sits with Crypto and ponders things that is happening to him, right? I don't think he's going to be a big deal.
I'd actually be fine with that. Even if even if it was very similar. One of the things that I did like about the Brandon Routh movie Superman Returns was that scene right before the bank robbery when he is sitting in the upper atmosphere, and it shows that he can listen to everything. And then that alarm goes off and he zeroes in on and goes in after the bank. I wouldn't mind not a recreation, but it's something similar to that where he's up there chilling with Crypto and just whatever, and then boom, something jumps off. Okay, gotta go or whatever, or hell, bring Crypto with him, whatever. But like, I think something like that would be perfectly fine. We've had a Batman-like Superman for all the Snyder verse, man. It's like it's time to get Superman back to that truth, justice, symbol of hope thing that he's supposed to be. Which having a dog will kind of bring that out of him.
Yeah, bring the whole the
comic book readers.
Comic book readers, what?
You and whomever read the comic books. How in the hell does Superman keep Crypto from destroying shit?
Because he's a good planets. Dog. I mean, literally, it's as simple as that. Crypto, with being Kryptonian the way he is, he's actually an incredibly intelligent dog, right? Incredibly intelligent, right?
Oh, he would be. He would be smarter than any fucking dog. He's probably smarter than any human. But but what I'm saying is you said he goes off to play, and you've owned dogs.
I know
because I don't own dogs, but every single person I know that's owned a dog says their dog has done something that made them fucking mad. From shitting everywhere to tearing something up to what have you.
That's not Crypto.
Still a fucking dog.
Clearly, that's not him. Yeah, that's literally not him.
I think what it is he's like Kenshiro said, he's exceptionally intelligent and he's also well trained. It's like Crypto essentially is the ultimate show dog, even though he's ridiculously powerful. He's just as well trained as a show dog for like you see on those whatchamacallit, dog shows and whatnot. So he's that level of training, but he's just also ridiculously strong.
Yo, man, it was like one of the biggest ultimate pimp moves I remember seeing in a comic book. Clark and Crypto were stopping like a robbery or something like that, and Clark told Crypto to sit, and he sat on the chest of the robber. The robber could not move.
Person that probably
would have killed
him. Crypto was so heavy for him he could not move. Didn't move an inch. I think the other good thing about Crypto being introduced in this movie is because that movie that's coming up, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Crypto is a big plot device in that book. A big plot device.
In the book?
Yes, in the book. He is a big plot device.
Okay.
In that book. So introducing him in this movie, which subsequently I would be shocked if Ali Milcock's Kara Zor-El does not show up in this movie. I'd be shocked.
Right.
Because there has to be that handoff where Crypto goes with her and he becomes the plot device, right?
Might be an after credit scene. Might be an after credits deal.
Something like that.
Because I mean, don't they already have like Green Lantern and Hawk Girl or something in this movie as well?
They have Guy Gardner. They have Guy Gardner.
Okay, yeah.
Nathan Fillion,
which is
good
good.
old standby. Yes.
I do. Nathan Fillion is one of those guys that Gunn can always call and be like, "Hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z." And my man, he does a great job at whatever it is. So you always got to have a couple of people like that.
Like I can't wait for next year to get here because next year is going to be 100% loaded. This movie, Superman, is coming out 2 weeks before the Fantastic Four, which since D12, you ain't heard a peep. Not a peep about that movie.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I want them to just bring it out. They already got Thunderbolts coming that we're all gonna go see. They already got Captain America, which is we're all gonna go see. So it's like just bring them out. Like stop doing the thing of putting out this little bit of tidbit so people can get mad and up in arms. Just bring the movie out.
Yo, like you said, speaking of movies we're gonna go see, that ballerina movie with the baby girl Anna de Armas. Yo,
it's gonna be fun.
That trailer was fire. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be really, really, really good. I think so.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be definitely interesting to see.
All right, so we got a couple more minutes to wrap up. Anything else that we may have missed that you guys want to talk about? Anything that came up? That or what you've been playing lately? Anything new?
Jump back into Yakuza to do what when I lost my save. Zelda, the echoes of what the Dr. Snagglepuss, whatever the heck it's called.
Snagglepuss.
Echoes of Wisdom. And that's about it for the games. And then I've been watching a lot of movies. I watched a lot of movies. I went back and watched Spawn again because I want to understand why people didn't like it. And I
Did you watch the extended one or the regular?
No, I didn't know about the extended one, so it was a regular one. I watched Queen of the Dam because I haven't seen that forever. I watched a couple of One Piece movies. I watched something called Mr. Crockett today, which was fucking wow. It's definitely pretty creepy. Take Freddy Krueger and Mr. Rogers and kind of merge them together. It could have had a little bit more kills, as one reviewer said. But I still like the concept, and I didn't think the movie was bad because it didn't have enough kills in it. And then I watched the Ballad of Buster Scaggs, which is weird because when you watch this movie, I don't know, it was been in a lot of memes, like the guy being hung, James Franco being hung, and he was like,
that guy. Okay, I remember that meme. Okay,
yeah. No, I did not watch the JoJo's live action movie because it's fucking Diamond is Unbreakable, and I don't want to watch that one live action. If I'm gonna watch, I want to see fucking Stardust Crusaders because I'm sorry, I still prefer that one. All the new JoJo's fans like Diamonds Are Unbreakable, or the one with Giovanni Giorno, whatever. They like those ones, which they were good. Don't get me wrong, they were good. But Stardust Crusaders is still the better one.
Jotaro Joestar.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, that's the one with Dio actually fucking really, fights. That's people became fans of Dio because of Stardust Crusaders, not because Dio wasn't in the other one. So it's what I have.
All right, y'all. If that's going to do it for today's show of Culture Junkies Live, we want to thank you all for joining us on the digital airwaves.
That's not it. You just got one more thing.
Yes, we do have one more thing. You're all right. Let me switch over to show this one more thing, as Uncle liked to say. That's coming out this Friday. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for you guys to see it. So I love that you threw in the Batman NES song in there, because that literally still
I didn't hear any music. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
I don't know. It probably wasn't playing for you guys, but I think it. Hopefully, it played out without sound.
Chat is saying no sound.
We can't have that. We cannot have that. No. We can't have that.
Yeah.
I will run it back this time with the sound. I promise.
All right.
So give me 1 second. Make sure that the sound is being captured. Get a little bit of bonus time for you guys today.
Get a little bit of air, y'all. Give it a little air.
Get a little bit of bonus time for you guys to make sure that so actually let's do this one.
Well, the other thing is, for those that are on YouTube, you can actually go to the. Nope, still don't hear anything. I personally don't. Yeah, you can go to our YouTube channel. You can actually go to notify me on that video. So you can go click on the notify me, and it'll give you a notification as soon as it comes up this Friday. So appreciate it.
What the fuck are they asking me to do? Oh,
Oh, it looks like your audio is muted on your
still
player.
don't hear me.
Really?
Yeah. If that's the bottom, what I'm seeing on the bottom right there.
No. Should be playing the sound. Jesus, this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. I mean,
you should watch Smile. You should have seen it in a while.
Yeah, they came out a
Smile
sequel
was
that's actually about to
very
drop on
interesting
digital pretty soon. So
on digital, I thought it was going to be in the movie.
I keep seeing commercials for it, but I'm sorry, I keep hearing commercials for it because
commercials for it.
Yeah, there's a game that I'm playing that it's like a numbers game or whatever, and it has, instead of giving you commercials that are constantly like interrupting your gameplay, they put commercials in audio form that play. I'm like, whatever. So I keep hearing commercials for Smile. So I'm guessing that's what they're talking about. I guess that's the one that's coming up.
Smile coming soon.
Yeah, it does sound interesting though, from what I understand of the movie is about. No, I'm gonna get it.
Did you not see the first one?
Or they'll come out with a 2-pack or something.
Yeah, it's
This is disgusting. I cannot believe.
Well, everybody just go to the YouTube page and hit notify me and watch it this Friday. So, but it is a obviously a 6-scale Batman with a surprise part of the unboxing. So it'll be awesome. You guys will enjoy it. All right. So.
Yep. I am so sorry that the sound wasn't working. That is totally on your boy here. Totally on your boy. That's my fault.
I did not see Terrifier 3.
My bad.
I heard you talking about that before. What is that one about?
Terrifier is about a clown that goes around and murders people very gory and violently. That's pretty much it. You don't know why he's murdering anybody. You don't know anything about his background. It's just, if you see him, you're gonna die, and it's probably gonna be very gruesome. And I enjoyed the movies because we grew up watching slasher movies, and because of Freddy Krueger, we were always watching to see how he was going to kill somebody.
Same type of thing.
And this is like
nice.
that. You want to see
so wait,
what is
GQ that video is dropping Friday, right?
Yeah, it comes out this Friday. So if you go to the YouTube page, it'll be there. You can hit notify me, and it'll let you know when the video premieres.
You want to drop that link in the chat?
I'd have to let me bring up the YouTube real quick.
Yeah, so drop that link in the chat before we get on out of here, so you get a little bit of extra bonus time. Dido, let's pick some of the games for this weekend. So one of the biggest games. Oh, you did them all already? Oh, what'd you pick? What'd you pick? Vikings versus Lions. Let's hear.
Vikings, the Lions. I mean, I'm gonna pick the Lions no matter what, because I'm a Homer.
Okay.
Home downtown guy. But pick the Lions over the Vikings. They look like it, and I put all the confidence on them, so they better not lose by 15
buddy. Oh, buddy. So
yeah. The Buccaneers, I picked over the Ravens, even though the Buccaneers are the ones that are favorites to win, but that's very low confidence. And I picked the Chargers over the Cardinals.
I don't remember if Justin Herbert is playing, so that might not have been a good pick.
All right, that's the link there for everybody.
To King, to your question, yes, I did, and I will be getting it. Gosh darn it!
Okay.
You don't like this car? Look at this old timey car. Oh, I like this one. That's old timey. Look at that.
This is a 100% important game for Detroit without Hutch, man. Oh man, prayers up to that guy. I need him to get back. Get back and be 100%.
Dude, I didn't know it was that bad. I thought it was a wrist injury. I did not see.
I saw it. That boy was flopping after he hit the ground. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was a clean break, but they said he's supposed to be 100% next season. He'll be ready. But the Lions might pull a trade, and I think they'll be all right. Anyway, y'all didn't come here necessarily to talk about sports stuff. You can't talk about culture, but we thank you. That's the show for this week. Thank you for joining us this week on Culture Junkies Live. We'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, for another great episode for my friends, the great Adequji and GQ, and for the departed Simon Says, who was there very briefly for about 5 seconds, but he was still here. We'll give him his props. I'm Kashira. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe.
Okay, bye.